Thank you guys, as always, for tuning in to our second questions and answers, or Q&A as we like to call it. This one is specifically partnered by BlueCross, but if you guys want to submit a question, you can do it on all of our social medias and all that. Just make sure we know it's a question for our YouTube channel. We'll get to answering it, but we'll jump right into the question.
All right, Daniel, the first 5 questions are going to be blocked by BlueCross. So the first question, if you could post anything on the other person's social media account, what would you post? So if you could post anything on my social media account, what would you post on it?
I just put, no, this is Patrick, and I like change your cover photo to Pinhead, or just something mean like, I don't know, I'm doing and I'm stupid. It's a question, you gotta answer, it ain't gonna be funny. It's a Q&A, it ain't Q and funny.
So if I had controlled Daniel's social media account, I would delete all of his stuff and just replace it with a bunch of pictures that was like, Dylan was here, Patrick Star was here. All right, Daniel, second question. What is your biggest fear? I know I can already go ahead and say that mine are spiders and like getting shots in the hospital. It's somewhere tied between those two. If you see me even notice a spider, you'll see me react in fear to it. And if you've ever seen me get a shot or even think about getting a shot, the first time I ever had an IV, I had to have earbuds in. I was looking up at the ceiling with my eyes closed, singing this song. I had to do a whole thing just to get a little IV in.
My biggest fear is
So I was picking my mind. I figured I'd try to be funny.
Okay, my biggest fear though is definitely between spiders, needles, and heights. But now I don't have to go to the doctor too much. So needles, I just don't deal with them a lot. And spiders, I've kind of came to the, I'm so stupid I don't know which ones are gonna kill me. So I'm like, they're gonna kill me or they're gonna be like every other spider bite. So fuck it. So my worst one, number one would probably honestly be heights. Like I've jumped off some high things into water before, but it's still, nothing beats the fear of heights. When you're looking down, you start losing feelings in your legs, and you're just like, oh God. Question number 3. What are some crazy things you've seen in school?
Some of the craziest things I've seen in school, they're actually more funny than crazy, but follow me. When I was getting some tours of the fraternity houses, in one of the basements, they had their own lap dance room with its own stripper pole. It was the fucking shit, but that was in college. In high school, the biggest thing I probably saw was an awesome fight where, like, just an awesome dodge to an uppercut. And that was probably it.
I'm a very uninteresting person, just in general. Anybody that follows my life will know this, because the craziest thing I've seen in school was literally just my best friend beating somebody up over the silly little nut shot game. Because he's just like being so annoying with it, and nobody likes it anyways, getting hit in the nuts. So my best friend just had enough with it. Basically, it's like, if you do it to my best friend one more time, basically I'm gonna beat you up. And then
our next question from Mr. BlueCross is, what sports are we both into? My answer would be quickly just baseball and dodgeball. Dodgeball is the sport of all sports. I love dodgeball, love playing it, love watching it.
Name a team.
I don't know any professional teams, but I'd rather watch the movie, and I know you can watch YouTube, just search in dodgeball championships, and you'll find a bunch of professional people playing dodgeball.
The sports I'm into, very little football, but then like MLG, maybe ping pong, because ping pong's awesome, but like mostly just gaming teams, like Call of Duty teams. And don't get me wrong, some people are like, oh, those aren't a sport, but they'll get in there eventually. So I'm a bandwagon that one. Like, it's gonna be the one. If anybody walks up to me and talks to me, it's gonna be the sport or the topic I know most about. Okay, Dylan. The last question from BlueCross is, what inspired us to do this YouTube channel?
So we started doing YouTube. I started making just really crappy videos at first. I got Daniel making videos on his own channel. We were making videos on our own channel for a little bit of time, and I was like, hey Daniel, why don't we just, instead of both making it on our own channel, why don't we just come together, start putting all the stuff that we do onto one channel, and then we can start a podcast, talking. We was like, hey, we'll call the podcast Max Level, the Max Level Podcast. And then before we even started recording the podcast or anything, we was like, instead of calling the the podcast max level, why don't we just be max level? So we went through a whole changing that we went from my channel to max level. Daniel's channel is still floating around, but it's just dead in the water. But
Yeah.
we went
He's
from the
floating
change,
out,
and now it's basically the way you know it. But if you want to know the real reason I started doing YouTube, was completely out of boredom and depression. I had nothing better to do, and I needed to find something to do with my time that I loved doing. So I was like, I'm watching a lot of YouTube. I need to start making a YouTube channel. But thank you, BlueCross, for all those questions. Remember, if you would like to leave questions, you can leave them here on YouTube. Leave them anywhere down. And if you want to leave a few more questions, we do not mind at all answering them. Daniel, we got 2 more questions. The next one is very simple. If you could choose one superpower, what would it be? I would probably be flying, just plain and simple.
Something like Nightcrawler. Maybe not so much with the look. I don't know. Maybe the tail. The tail's kind of badass. But just teleporting places I've seen or know of or anything. Because I just feel like it'd be very useful if like you were getting shot at or you were in like a physical fight. Like it wouldn't help you like physical strength wise, but it'd be the coolest thing to save you the most money, to help you get the most money, and nobody even know you exist really. Like it just help you in so many ways. I feel like.
All right, Daniel, and our final question. If Donald Trump and President Obama were in a boxing match, who do you think would win?
Barack Obama sounds kind of like, I don't know, I was going to say Bobby, never mind. Who would win in the boxing match between Trump and Obama? I definitely think Obama would win just because he'd swing in with like gay marriage, a couple like, just some other good hook, line, and singles. And Trump is retarded, period. He gonna just be hanging out in his corner hoping they can patch him up during the fight. As like Barack Obama's just like praying mantising him, his doctor, his lawyer.
Yeah, I would agree. Obama would win. Strictly on the fact that Trump is just stupid. He has no idea what's going on. President Obama is in health, in shape, and I think now if it was the UFC or an MMA match, Trump might have more of a chance because of his weight. But because it's not, Obama whipped that ass. But thank you guys for watching another episode of our Q&A. If you'd like, you can follow Daniel at Daniel's Paradox or Daniel J. Petry 105. You can follow me, Modern Day Hell. You can follow Max Level on all social medias, Max Level or Max Level Studios. And thank you, BlueCross, for leaving us those questions. If you'd like to leave more, we will gladly answer all the questions you have for us. And if you guys would like, you guys can check out some more videos. I'm going to try to paste them around here. That way we can get, the extra videos going on again. And as always, we'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.